Hello and welcome back to Little Estimator software version 1.0. In this video I'm going to show how to get the notes that are done on the road to how to get this into the software so that you would be able to have your estimation calculated correctly with all of your percentages. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is open up Little Estimator. And like I said in the last video, these percentages that are here, they can be changed anytime, but they come from the estimator. Okay, so like I said before, all this data is fake. I made it up, like it came just out of my imagination. But you have to have these. You don't have to, but if you need to add a percentage of profit, this is where you're going to put it so that it always keeps coming up. Okay, so we exit that. And so I have my first sheet, which is this one, which would be the sheet I would take as a notes from a phone call or an email. It could be printed out. I'm working with old school. So I have the name of the person, the phone number, their address. Sometimes there is driving directions. Now with the GPS, we don't need these things anymore. But the time that you're going to meet the people to show you what work needs to be done, and the quick breakdown on the different kind of jobs that you're going to see, just so that you don't forget. And also you ask these kind of questions because it's not all work that all contractors can do. So you make a list of all of these things, and this is the list that you get, number 1, exhibit 1 in this. Okay, so now we're going to go and we're going to put into the software the kind of like the main pieces of information on the main page. So this is going to be like kind of like your first page. So the customer, you can write it in as you need it. Okay, we can write this in as Ms. Roberts. I also had it's in memory here, Bertha Roberts. With her address and everything, and the customers, I'm going to show after how to add a customer, but you don't have to exactly add a customer. The software will remember it. Okay, it doesn't have to be in memory. One thing that is good to have in memory is something like this, like residential one time. You know, you can click on this and you don't have to write it in. But now I lost my Ms. Roberts, so I could have it as Ms. Roberts. The project title can, I mean, this is just for little tiny jobs. It's just that all of these titles and names help out when you have something a little bit bigger. So here we would just have some small jobs. I have this thing about consistency. And then the project description, we can put whatever we want in that in terms of you know, if it's a small thing like this one is, there's only going to be 4 little jobs to do. So some small jobs. So small elect. Okay, so now if this is just a regular customer, you can leave all of the percentages as the same. And then we are going to go into our sections. So we had 4 sections on 4 jobs, as we see in the paper. There is going to be a 3-way in the basement. So let's put this as a replacement. And then the description is going to be a three-way switch downstairs. There's a one time, and it's each. Now for the estimation number, according to the sheet, I already did this one, so but I want to do it again. To do it, let's say you want to do an estimate and you do it, and you want to do it again but change one or two sections, okay, because we have like 7 different sections here. So with this software, the way it's set up is you can bring it from your memory, the way it was done, and then save it with an A or a B at the end. You know, like you can add a number to differentiate a little bit, and then you can make the changes that you want, and then save it as like a new estimate. So this is a way of reusing work that you did already in the past. Okay, so now in this sheet, I already have that estimate taken, and because it's already done. So what I'm going to do for this in this example is I'm going to do the same number 01000 and add an A to the end. Okay, so then I go down to section, and on my sheet I take a look, and I had dining room, and it's changed to 4 lights. Let's just say I got a phone call on my way back. This section is almost always 1 each. And I say almost because it's not always. This whole style of information and what information is presented was taken from some of the work I did when I was working as a full-time estimator, doing commercial estimation. And I found that this system kind of worked for small residential type jobs, even though that this is kind of the way I did it when I was a contractor. I mean, things evolve. So this is where it got to. So then we continue, and we start with the third one. Was the master bedroom. And it's a center light. And the last one is outside, and it's change plugs for GFI and bubble cover. There we go. Now once this is all entered, and here we have a place where we can put notes. What kind of notes could we put? There's a lot of different things that happen that you need to advise people of. So let's just make something up, and we'll just say take care to leave gate closed for dog. Okay, and this is something that actually happened to me. So now once you have all of this done, you can't open the pages yet. So what you do is you save, and now you can open the pages. Okay, so you get this information in, and now we can go and we can start the first estimate. So now the first estimate, we're going to take a look, and we have to add a labor. So because this is all, the software is all about labor. So this is going to be an electrical job. So we're going to take an electrician. The electrician, this is a few years back. The cost was about this in the area where I was working. Okay, now these costs, they change a lot. And it depends on many factors, but mostly it's regulation. So we have one electrician, the rate that we pay, that costs the contractor, quantity of people you're going to be using, and then this is the hours sold according to the percentages that we put. So we can look at how the percentages basically get calculated. It's very easy. We take our material gets we're going to be using it 30% profit. It's right, it should be here, but I can't put all the profits in there. So anyway, so you have the costs, administration, which is the office costs, and we have the profit which is put on top of that, and then we put the fees, which is usually the that thing that I said about that it's for whatever reason, but usually there's somebody wants a percentage of the work, so this goes for that, and then we have all of the totals of everything. So now let's go with the first piece of material, and the first piece of material is going to be, we look at the second page, which is that one, and we take a look at it, and it's the three-way. So the first thing we need is an 1104L box. So we take one of those. Now here's one thing, when I press enter, the things happen in the grid. So when I press enter, the selected cell jumps over to the right. Okay, now we start off with quantity, supplier, manufacturer, and category. We're not going to worry about filling this in unless we are filling it in ourselves. Okay, because in this program, the whole thing about it is that I can modify anything I want. So if I'm going to use the database, which is most of the time what you want to do, okay, because you want to use the stuff that you did from the past. So we want to use the database, so we're going to put how much quantity we need. We're going to also put the code. Now the code is, you can use one of two different kinds of codes. There's the one code, which is the one that works for that material. Okay, so let's say, for example, we're going to go here, the bottom, and we're going to click material, and we're going to fill in over here 1104. Search. Well, I hit enter, and here we go. We have the 1104 boxes, and we want 1104L. So here we go. So what I'm going to do is double click on the picture. This is accepted in the line below. I can put in the quantity, I can put 1, or I don't have to put anything, and by default it's going to give me 1. Okay, because if you found something and you want it, well, it's you're going to be using at least 1. So here we go. So we click accept, and here is the code. The code is made up of the first 3 letters are a representation of the manufacturer's name, and then after that it's the code that the manufacturer uses, or somebody uses, or you made it up yourself. Whichever way you do it, it's going to be the rest of it. Okay, so this was the way it was done so many years in the past, and I noticed recently on some bills that they have they have a dot between the letters that represent the manufacturer's name, and then the code. So there's like a dot to separate it, which I think it's fine. I don't see a problem. They use sometimes 2, sometimes 3 letters that I noticed. But so this is a new thing. I don't think my software will do that because I didn't know about this till very recently. So I didn't check it or program it in. So if anybody that's trying it wants to try it out, see what happens. Now, when you get a material like this material over here, if we copy this, so Control C, copy it, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to get material, but not this material. I'm going to go back to Top Sheet, okay, and click Material here. Now I'm going to Control V, okay, to paste what I copied. We're going to click Find. And because there's a lot of them, it should have found just one, but I'm gonna work on that. Okay, so this is the one that we're looking at. So we double click on the picture, and not on the picture. It says click on item ID for material selection. This is something I did as a different way of finding and presenting the material for selection. Okay, which is pretty nice. It's a dynamic. It gives you as much information as you want, okay, as you need, I think. So anyways, we're going to take this, and we got to close. We got to go back to where we were. Okay, so there you go. So the material gets entered. Now, in this material, here it's 1104L is a find fast code, okay? If we take this, now 1104L is a very common name for a box that is used a lot, especially when I remembered when I worked in residential, okay? So let's take this and copy it, Control copy. We exit, we don't need this anymore. We go back to our page 1, and if we go down here, we take, let's say, 4 of these boxes, and we hit enter. Now if you hit tab, what happens is that the cursor jumps into weird places. Now this is something that I'm working on, but enter is the key that makes it go across the line. Okay, so if it jumps somewhere, just put with the mouse, select the cell that you want to be in. Okay, so now we go into this one that we want to put 1104L. So put an L, and I hit enter, and look at that. It found the same box that find fast code was associated with. It pulled up the code, the description, the money, and it gave the total for 4 of these boxes. Okay, now all of this stuff could even be changed. So let's say for this box, for whatever reason, you don't want this. You double click, highlight it, delete it, okay, and now it's not there. Now this could be saved and it'll come back exactly like this. But if, for example, you want to find out that you want that thing to come back, all you have to do is put the cursor at the end of the code, hit enter, and it'll find it and bring it back, all the data. You see, so I added as much flexibility as possible. So anyways, so I think that this is going to be the end of part 1. I'm going to do this in more than one part. I don't want it to be too long, too boring in one shot. He spread the pain over some time. Sorry about that. So anyways, so right now we're gonna stop with this for this part 1, And so thank you for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in part 2. So see you then.